Yeah. Okay.
The reality of death is firmly rooted in the belief that God's Son is a body, and if God created bodies, death would indeed be real, but God would not be loving. There is no point at which the contrast between the perception of the real world and that of the world of illusions becomes more sharply evident. Death is indeed the death of God, if He is love. And now His own creation must stand in fear of Him. He is not Father, but destroyer. He is not Creator, but Avenger. Terrible His thoughts and fearful His image, to look on His creations is to die.
That's it, eh?
That's it. So the reality, that's why the whole course is about not being tempted to perceive yourself as only a body. Because the reality of death is firmly rooted in the belief that we are only bodies. That we are bodies. Even the idea that we're bodies and yet we have a spirit is still affirming the truth of our body identity. Negates the truth of God's eternity. So that's why all of the course in the text and through the workbook is trying to get our mind disengaged from our perception that we're a body. That me, Karen, is this body that with this hair and whatever I am at a certain point of my age or whatever, that's me. That's not me. And none of our bodies are us. They're illusions or images that we've made to reflect what we think we are. But who we are, in truth, is as God created us, and it takes a while to find out how cool that thing is, or how cool that is, because we're not taught that every day, how we were created by God, but that's what the whole course is teaching us.
I've noticed that people have a real resistance to the idea that God did not create this world. Mm-hmm. You know, and I think some of it is they see the beauty and get connected with God, and so think that, well, then the ugliness also must have been made by God.
You know, that I think that when you're saying that about all through the workbook and this idea that I'm not a body, I'm free, you said hold this idea dear, because that idea will get you actually guidance from the Holy Spirit instead of the ego. And it's, I'm not a body, I'm free, I'm for as God, I remain as God created me. It's always juxtaposing those two things. It's like either you're body or you're created by God, but not both. It can't be both. You can't hold both those things. That's insane thinking.
And even in the Bible, this is reflected in the thought that the ego, it could be equated to the devil in the Bible. In the Bible, it's even taught by Jesus. You can't listen to the devil. You can't have two masters. You can't serve two masters and go anywhere. So you can't serve the devil or the ego's thought system that you're a body and God's thought system that you're an eternal loving being. You have to make a choice. And that's really all that's being said in the Course too. It's like, get your mind focused on the truth of who you are. Don't listen to the ego's lies, because you'll get caught in illusions.
And that, you know, that there's this very big idea right now that's probably a step ahead of what used to be thought, but people, you know, just keep on affirming, I'm body, mind, and spirit. And that's not what the Course is saying. I think it's really important for Course students to recognize that.
Yes, and so this is more in line with an Eastern philosophy of the illusion of the body and the illusion of this world. So this is an ancient idea. This isn't some new thing that just came out of nowhere. And even in the Bible, he says, appearances deceive. That's really referring to the fact you're looking at illusions. It's an appearance. It's not the reality. So that's even in the Bible. It's just not understood what that's meant, what is meant by that.
You know, and I think this section, this whole section through here shows how incredibly sane the Course is, but also how appropriate it is to our understanding here, because forget about God, forget about the Course and all that. The question is always raised, what accounts for the continuity of self through time? Right? Because that's our intuition that I'm me. And that's what's continuous through the whole thing. And so you have to ask, what is that? Can't be the body. The body you have today is not the same one you had 8 years ago. All the molecules
kind of noticed that.
Have been right? But I mean, literally all the molecules have been placed since 8 years ago.